Hello, you guys. Welcome to this spontaneous live stream. I just finished up my workout and then I just went for a walk. And I'm about to go to the farmer's market because Thursdays are farmer's market days where I live. It's only one time a week and I look forward to it every single week. But I have a lesson, something that I just want to share with you guys today. So if you are here watching live with me, then I would hope that you would say hello in the comments. Drop a hello, say hi. How are we feeling on this lovely Thursday? How are we doing? I have a lesson that I want to share with you guys. So I was just on a walk. And on Thursdays, hello, happy Thursday, Christine. Hi, Jackie. So, hello, Patrice, good morning. First time watching one of your lives. Hi, Vicky. Oh my God, that's amazing. Thanks for being here. So I was just on a walk, and on Thursdays, my husband doesn't have to get up early. So my husband and I get up around, I'd say 5:30-ish, give or take, most days throughout the week. I love getting up early. I love starting my day with my morning routine, doing my workouts, my walk, all the things, right? I just love my routine so much. You guys know I'm like the queen of routines and habits and everything like that. And on Thursdays, my husband doesn't have to get up early. So when my husband doesn't have to get up early, it's a lot harder for me to get up early, right? I'm sure you guys feel it, right? I'm just like, I turn around and he's still sleeping and he looks so comfortable. I'm like, I'm not going to get up. I'm just going to chill in bed. So I slept in a little bit this morning and my sleep in is literally like 6:15. Like that's literally my sleep in, okay? It's not sleeping in at all. But for me, it's sleeping in. So my morning routine got pushed back a little bit. My workout got pushed back a little bit. My walk got pushed back a little bit. And the time that I'm going to go to the farmer's market is going to get pushed back a little bit. So my whole morning got pushed back a little bit. And I was on my walk and a thought popped up in my head, and a silly thought popped up in my head. And not so positive thought popped up in my head, and I'm just going to share this with you guys. And the thought was like, you should have got up at 5:30 in the morning. You should have continued to do your morning routine at the same time. You should have continued to go for the walk at the same time. You should have done your workout at the same time. You should have done it, blah, 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 blah. And then I stopped myself. And I'm like, you guys know I have a business. And I'm like, I run my own business. I have the ability to wake up whenever I want to wake up. And I'm going to relate this back to your relationship with food, I promise, and how this can benefit you, I promise. But I just said, I'm like, I could wake up whenever I want. I have the luxury, I have the ability to do that. I could work out whenever I want. I could go for a walk whenever I want. Like, I don't have to do things at a specific time. I get to do it when I want to. And so I just like had this thought in my mind of like, you should have done this, you should have done that. And I'm like, no, I didn't start my own business to be so rigid and be on somebody else's timeline and have to do things at a specific time. I'm like, no, I like freedom. And relating this back to your relationship with food, you didn't ditch diet culture to continue beating yourself up. You did not ditch diet culture to continue feeling guilty for what you're eating. You did not start healing your relationship with food to continue attaching your worth to the number on the scale. You did not start improving your relationship with food to continue judging yourself for everything that you're eating. Right? So often, when you're on this path of healing your relationship with food, you're choosing to ditch diet culture because you're done with the rigidity. You're done with the structure. You're done with you have to weigh and track and measure everything. These foods are good and these foods are bad. You're done with the rigid rules. You're done with the self-beat up. You're done with the I'm not worthy if the number on the scale goes down. Like, you're done with that. Am I right? Let me know in the comments if you're feeling me right now. Like, right? You chose to ditch diet culture and start improving your relationship with food because you were done with all of that. At least I was. Like, back in 2019, when I was so ready to heal my relationship with food, yes, done. I was like, literally, I cannot look at my scale. I cannot weigh a single almond. I cannot weigh my spinach any freaking more. I'm done. Oh my gosh, I was so done. But what ends up happening is you feel done, but are you actually done? They're two different things. So we can say, like, I am so done with weighing myself every day because it's just so exhausting. I am so done with weighing and tracking and measuring my food, but it's another thing to actually do it. It's another thing to be like, no, I'm actually done. Because intellectually you're done, but when we actually go do the thing, it's so much harder, right? Like, to actually stop weighing yourself can be a challenge. To actually stop feeling guilty for what you're eating can feel like a challenge, right? So it's one thing to know all the things, and then it's actually another thing to actually do it and not feel guilty for what you're eating and actually commit to intuitive eating without weighing and tracking and measuring all of your food. But you're choosing to get out of diet culture. You're choosing a better relationship with food. Nobody's telling you you have to. You want it. You want a better relationship with food. So in those moments of time when you are beating yourself up because you had a cookie, let's say, right? Of course, there's going to be a little glimpse of guilt because for 10, 20, 30 plus years, you've been told that's bad and you shouldn't have a cookie. And oh my gosh, if you honor your cravings, you're such a bad human, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. But in those moments where there's like a little glimpse of guilt or a heavy amount of guilt, right? Depending on where you're at on your journey to healing your relationship with food, in those moments of feeling guilty, you can remind yourself, hold on. I've spent 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 plus years feeling guilty. I am choosing to not feel guilty anymore. I am choosing to ditch diet culture. I am choosing to make peace with this food. When you are getting out of tracking calories and macros and you're eating intuitively and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so scared. Like, oh my gosh, like, this is so terrifying. Maybe I should just go back to diet culture. You have to remind yourself in those moments, I am choosing to eat intuitively because I've done the weighing and I've done the tracking and I've done the measuring and weighing and all the things. And like, I'm done with thinking about food 24/7. I am done with obsessing over calories. I am done with having my life revolve around food and calories. I am choosing this. Nobody's telling you you have to. But in your heart, you know what you need to do. You know that dieting isn't for you. So in those moments where you want to continue beating yourself up, no, I'm choosing to do this. And again, easier said than done, right? Like, especially like when you're healing your relationship with food and then you have a binge and you start beating yourself up. It's still easy to beat yourself up. Like, oh, I know all the things of what to do and like I didn't need a binge, but like I did it, right? And then you start beating yourself up. But again, you didn't start improving your relationship with food to continue beating yourself up. That's what you do in diet culture land. Diet culture land. That's what you do in diet culture land. I'm just going to say it. Right? You didn't ditch diet culture to continue beating yourself up. If you want to continue beating yourself up, well then go on a meal plan or go on a diet and go back to diet culture, because you will for sure continue to beat yourself up. But you're moving away from that because you want a better life for yourself. You want a better life for your family. You want to be happier. You want to be healthier. You want to get your mental real estate back. So I just felt the need to share this. Like, if you're continuing to feel guilty for what you're eating, and you're continuing to attach your worth to the number on the scale, and you're continuing to just beat yourself up and, tear yourself apart as you are on your healing journey to find food freedom, like, remind yourself, I am done with that. I am no longer available for that. I am no longer available for that. I did that for 10 years of my life, and I'm done. Again, easier said than done, but this is what you're working towards. It's a choice. Just like, I'm going to circle it back, just like when I was on a walk and I'm like, I should have got up earlier. I should have done my morning routine earlier. I should have done this earlier. I should have done this. I should have done that. But I'm like, I chose to not be so rigid with my routine because I don't want rigidity in my life. I chose to start my own business because I didn't want to have to go to work 9 to 5. I want to be able to work out whenever I want. I want to be able to go outside of my backyard whenever I want. I want to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. Like, that's what I want. It's a choice. Just like you and your relationship with food. It's a choice. You are choosing a better life for yourself. So when you think to yourself, oh my God, I need to be more rigid. Intuitive eating feels so scary. I need to be more rigid with my food. But is that what you really want? Or are you letting fear get in the way? Are you letting the diet culture voice in your mind get the best of you? You know that you don't want that. So when the voice pops up, hold on, I am literally choosing to eat intuitively because I know this is the path for me. Is this helpful? How are we feeling? Give me some hearts. Tap the little heart button. Let me know, how are you feeling? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? We are like, everybody is just so hard on themselves. Everybody is so hard on themselves. And we need to be more gentle. We need more self-love. You can never have enough self-love. Like, let's just be honest. You can never have enough self-love. So exactly where I am at right now. Yes! I'm glad this is making sense, and I'm glad this is helpful. Totally resonates with me. Yay! I'm so glad to hear, Christine. And it's so funny because I was like, should I go live? Should I share this? I'm like, whenever I go live, I want to have like a really incredible lesson to share with you guys. And I'm like, I don't know if this is like a huge lesson, but I'm like, I feel like somebody needs to hear this. So I'm glad that I showed up live for you guys, and I'm glad that this is resonating for you. So I just wanted to share that. I'm going to go off to the farmer's market. Even though it's almost 11 a.m., that's totally okay, right? Even if you didn't work out today or you didn't do a morning routine today, like, it is totally okay. You could do it later. Like, it's okay. It makes sense, but I'm still scared eating intuitively starts a binge. Yeah, this is a whole other conversation. I actually have a program called Eat Normally that helps you transition out of tracking calories and macros into intuitive eating without spiraling into a binge, like a step-by-step process. The biggest reason why people don't eat intuitively is because of fear. But what I always say is, right now, are you binging? Because you again, I don't know your situation, but I'll share my personal experience. When I was tracking calories and macros, I was still binging. So in my head, I'm like, I'm too scared to eat intuitively because I'm binging right now. So and I have rules. So imagine if I let the rules go, well then I'm gonna spiral even more out of control. I'm gonna spiral even more out of control if I don't have rules. Like, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna gain 9 million pounds. I'm gonna blow up like a balloon. Like, there's just no way. I can't trust myself to eat whatever I want. Are you kidding me? I'm going to have chocolate for breakfast and lunch and dinner, and that's not what I want. But what I realized was if I was binging when I was being so meticulous, intuitive eating is me being in tune with my body. So I'm going to learn about my hunger and fullness cues. I'm going to be able to learn how to eat when I'm hungry, naturally stop when I'm full. I'm going to be able to trust myself around trigger foods. I'm going to make peace with all foods. So although the thought of intuitive eating feels like I'm going to eat whatever I want and it's so scary, I'm going to just binge, the actual reverse happens because you have trust within yourself. You get back in tune with your hunger and fullness cues. So when most people think I can't eat intuitively because I'm just going to binge, it literally, like the reverse happens. You stop when you're full. You eat when you're hungry. So just like a perspective shift as well too. And if you need some support with that, my program Eat Normally would be best. Jacqueline says, this is what made me finally join the Academy. Yes, I'm so excited you're inside the Academy. Oh, the Academy is the best. Trying to catch my negative thoughts, that's the hard part. It is because it's on autopilot. And it's like sometimes it's just part of our daily lives, right? It's like we're so used to have those thoughts popping up, like you're eating a cookie and the thought's like, what are the calories? You shouldn't be having that. It's 11 a.m. in the morning, like you shouldn't be having that. It's so on autopilot, right? But just having like the awareness of the thought itself, like we don't even have to try to change the thought. Like the first step is just like, I have awareness over this thought. I like to give my negative thoughts a name. I'm like, oh God, here, and then just name the person, name the diet culture person who's giving these thoughts. I'm like, oh God, here she is again. And just like awareness, awareness. But yeah, catching the negative thoughts is hard because it just becomes part of your mindset, right? After so long of believing certain thoughts, it actually no longer it's no longer a thought. It becomes a limiting belief, right? Our thoughts turn into beliefs, and beliefs, like we have to rewire those things, right? Like they're so deeply ingrained into the brain. It's hard to retrain your brain after 50 years of restricting myself, but I love what you're saying. It is, but it's so possible. I actually have a client that I'm working with who's in her 70s. So it's never too late. It's never too hard. And what I want to say this, it's like I've seen people who have struggled with their relationship with food for 50 plus years heal faster than somebody who has been struggling less because of the mindset. Like when you go into healing your relationship with food and you're like, oh, this is going to be so hard. Like I'm never going to be able to change. Like it's going to be hard versus somebody, and even if they've struggled with it for 60 plus years or whoever, 50 plus years, 40 plus years, but they're like, I'm ready to change. I know this is going to be so hard, but like I'm ready to do this. Like I'm ready to put in the work. I know it's not going to be easy. But I know it's going to take work. Like when you have that mindset, like boom, 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 things can happen faster than you think. I think a lot of the people think, and I had this mindset too. I was like, when you've struggled with something for so long, you automatically think it's going to be harder, right? Like, and sure, it might be, but it doesn't have to be when you get support and you even have the right mindset. The right mindset is most important, Having the right mindset is super important. If we're expecting to see results tomorrow and it's like it's been 30 years, 50 years, like that's unrealistic, And I like to do these lives, and it's good that you brought this up because like I even train my clients, my clients who come and work with me, they're like, I know that I can't expect to be binge free tomorrow. Like I know. And I'm like, well, that's the right mindset, right? Like if you've been struggling with something for 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50 plus years, it's like we can't expect ourselves to automatically see results tomorrow, even though we want results tomorrow. we have to be patient. We have to be willing to put in the work, because it does take work to shift our thoughts. It does take work to shift our beliefs. Well, what's the alternative? I've always been willing to put in the work, because to me, that's always been worth it. You know, it's so worth it. So it doesn't matter how long you've struggled with something for, like, there is a way out, I promise. So thank you guys for hanging out with me on this lovely Thursday. It was so good to connect with you guys. I really do want to, I've been doing some TikTok lives, but the TikTok lives don't save the videos. And I'm like, I share gold on these lives and then it just disappears. So I probably will maybe do some more Instagram lives. If you guys have been enjoying this, you guys can let me know. But thank you so much for being here and listening. I hope something that I said out of this live stream, you can go and take action, because that's where your life is actually going to change, in the action piece. So thank you guys. Oh, I love the hearts. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.